In this video, I know I'm dropping back-to-back videos. I told you guys, bro. As soon as I find a decent build or a great build, I'm gonna let it fly, bro. We ain't wasting no time. We're not keeping it. Right now, I'm going to show you the 610 high flyer build I just found, bro. Now, you guys already know on 2K24, you're going to have to make sacrifices, okay? But the question is, are you willing to make this sacrifice? Because you're not going to be good at everything. So, the 610 high flyer build I'm about to show you guys right now, you can see the attributes right there. 6'10", 237 for 8 wingspan. And you guys will see, you will not believe what you can do when you give up one important attribute on 2K. And you guys are about to find out exactly what attributes that is. Now, what do you guys think of this build? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Realistically, for me, one of the things I realized as I'm making a build is block cost a lot, like a lot. Now, obviously, it's not ideal. If you're 6'10", you're not gonna be able to have block. But then you need to ask yourself the question: would you rather have a high block and like a 70 driving dunk or like an 80 driving dunk, which is what a lot of people are doing right now? Or there are other players in the game who are basically just like, we don't care about any of that. We just I want to be a slasher. And this is a 6'10" slasher as well. Now you're probably thinking, Fear, can we get, Hall of Fame posterizer? Can we get Hall of Fame precision dunker? The answer to that is unfortunately no. Because on this build, the highest you can go, even you can see there's a little gap there. Even if you max out your wingspan, the highest you're going to be able to get is only going to be a 96 driving dunk on this build. You cannot go any further than a 96 driving dunk, unfortunately. I would love to, but even with that, you all can look at these attributes, bro. This is a 6'10 build. You get 95 driving dunk at 81. Again, you're probably thinking, Fear, why did you have an 81 standing dunk, not an 80? I don't care about 81. Well, do you want to miss out on an easy point? With silver rise up, I told you, boys, every build I make, every attribute is picked for a specific reason. Now, in my opinion, I think there are going to be certain players out there that are probably thinking, Fear, yes, I don't care about block, bro. In order for me to get these stats, if I have to sacrifice block, I am willing to, because there's another way of making this build, which basically you might have a higher block but no rebounding, but then you can argue the same question. You're 6'10 and you can't rebound. So, in my opinion, the reason why this build works so well is the fact that you're going to have a high strength, because with the high strength, now I've talked about this previously, you're going to have immovable enforcer, obviously, which is going to make it very difficult for guys to blow by you. But I ain't going to cap to you. Once they blow by you, it's a GG. You're not going to recover because you ain't got the block too. So hopefully you're going to have a center to be able to sort of help you out or something like that and sort of rotate. Now, also, you get a decent rebound on this build, which is really, really good, which allows you to have silver pogo stick. You all can see this, silver pogo stick. And also, you get silver box out beast. So you're strong enough to be able to hold your own against, power forwards. Maybe not all centers. Some of these centers are big bodies. Now, another stats you're probably looking at, and you're probably staring at me, and probably looking at me like, Fear, I do not want an 82 mid-range. I don't care about mid-range. I don't take midi. I'm a slasher. Now, you're probably, that is probably true. But the reason is, now, for some reason, last year, the midi was super expensive, but this year, the midi is actually relatively cheap, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. Now, if we take that down, the reason I'm putting the mid-range up has got nothing to do with the fact that you're actually going to be taking mid-range. I mean, you can on this build, which is great, but you don't have to. Now, if you keep looking at what I'm increasing, now, by the way, y'all can never get blocked. Just forget that. This costs too much. Okay, block is going to cost you way too much. Anyways, back to the point I'm trying to make. If you look at the catch and shoot badge and the guard up badge, which again, y'all can see, these are, badges are going to help you to make shots, okay, to make your shooting jump shot, right? So if we increase this, y'all can see we get gold catch and shoot and we get gold guard up. So now not only are you going to be a deadly slasher at 6'10", who's going to be an absolute monster in the paint, okay, you still have some decent close shot. Y'all can see, even though you only got, bronze fast twitch, that's, that's quick enough to be able to, if you're ever in that situation, you're probably going to just dunk in the head anyway. But just in case you don't, you have that little fast twitch to help you out. You got a little masher on bronze, these little badges to, just boost your attributes around that area. More importantly, even with your playmaking, another thing you're probably going to talk about is Fear. I've only got bronze unblockable. Hey, listen, you're going to have to make sacrifices, because in order to be able to increase your unblockable, you're going to have to go very high in the post control. Now, again, you are a slasher. You don't have problem. What are you doing in the post anyway? So, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get any higher unblockable. It's going to be at bronze. But hey, like I said, you're gonna have to make sacrifices on this game. You can't be perfect at everything. But I think for me, I know there are gonna be certain players or certain people out there that are gonna be willing to make these sacrifices, but they don't know how to make a build like this. I know loads of people want a build of high dunk, high dunk. You know, we've seen loads of people trying to make high defensive build and they have no finishing. But no one's really laughing at those guys. But if you have high finishing and high shooting, high playmaking, decent perimeter defense, people are not talking about this, by the way. You also have a decent perimeter defense on this build. You have an 80 perimeter defense. You're going to have an 84 strength, which is going to give you a movable enforcer. Okay, you still get a brick wall. Now, with some of the playmaking as well, you get physical handles on gold. These are really, really good playmaking badges. Now, you're not going to be able to get hyperdrive. The reason being, obviously, due to your weight. You do need a 69 speed with ball for the hyperdrive. Now, for me, I think it's worth it. At the end of the day, you're just going to bulldoze your way. You get a big drive in Hall of Fame. You get triple strike. So if you know what you're doing, and with this 75 ball handle, you're going to get a lot of animations to help you with your dribble move. But anyways, I know you guys are staring at this build. I know the biggest concern is going to be this, but trust me, boys, like there's no other way, okay? I figured out the trick when it comes to 2K right now. Block is the most expensive attribute you can increase in the game. Like I said, last year was the shooting, but shooting is actually fairly cheap this year. Even if you upgrade your shooting, it doesn't cost that much. But the block, it's super expensive. And for me, if someone asked me would I rather make the sacrifice, I would say yes. I would say this is a sacrifice worth making, because you're gonna have a lot of fun on this build. You're gonna dunk on people. You're gonna go crazy. You get gold precision dunker, gold posterizer, you know, gold Hall of Fame aerial wizard, Hall of Fame aerial wizard. Now you're probably thinking, Fear, don't you need an 85 vertical? No, you don't. You only need an 85 vertical. If you have a higher driving dunk, say for example you're trying to go for posterize and Hall of Fame, or so you can see if you're trying to go for posterize Hall of Fame, you're going to need an 85 vertical, but because you're not going for that, you don't need it. So we're going to drop that down to 84 to save us some extra points. In this builder, every single point matters, and I think for some of you guys are really, really going to like this build. I know there's someone out there thinking, Fear, thank you so much for this build. I am going to make this build right now. So with this build, again, you can shoot, you can dunk, you have ball handle, you can play perimeter defense. You can, you're hawking a lane. Y'all can see again. 81 still is to get the interceptor. So every single badge point in this category was chosen for a specific reason. Maybe apart from this, I think this one you can drop that down if you want. You don't really need that if you don't want to. But you can put this anywhere that you want. Obviously, you want a bit about rebounding on both ends. But yeah, you guys let me know, what do you guys think about this build? I think this is a very, very good build for some of the slashers out there, slasher heads out there that want to be a bit more diverse and not be one-dimensional, because I've seen a lot of slasher builds that get high finishing but no defense, high finishing but no shooting. Do you know what I'm saying? Guys aren't laughing at those guys, but obviously if you're 6'10 with no block, hey, don't let people laugh at you, bro, because at the end of the day, you're going to go in there and you're going to dunk in their head, and they're not going to be laughing then. When you start dunking on people's heads, you're flying through the head, you're catching all kinds of alley-oops. This build you can play the rec with this build, you can play the park with this build, you're going to have fun with this build. More importantly, all these lockdowns out there, the only thing they can do is play defense. They have no offense. They're just spotting up, hoping to shoot. You're not going to be that guy. You're going to have fun. You're going to be able to dunk on dudes, shoot, have ball handle, dribble around. You have good speed, in my opinion. It's not the fastest, but it's not the slowest, given the fact that you're 6'10 and you have a lot of strength. You have good vertical and you have good stamina. So I think this is a very, very good build. You'll let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this build? Would you make this build? What would you tweak about this build? Because I do promise you, you're not getting blocked. Forget that. But I do think it's a sacrifice worth making. Anyways, man, I want to keep plowing through the builder. I'll try and see what else I can find, little gems I can find. But one of the biggest gems I just found is block is a no-no, bro. If you want to make a very diverse build, especially if you're going to be tall, 6'10", 6'11", I ain't going to cap. You're going to have to sacrifice that block and just hope you're going to have some rim protectors behind you when you get beat, because you ain't recovering. But if you've got good defense and you can hawk the lanes, hey, you're good, bro, and you can still rebound. So I think this is a very good diverse build. Anyways, I'm done ranting. If you guys like the video, you'll let me know. Again, I'm going to try to find some more deadly builds for y'all, man. What other height do you guys want? Okay, you guys already know I'm sleeping in the builder, bro. I'm trying to find little tips and tricks to be able to make sure y'all don't waste your money. You'll get the best value for your builds as well, because a build like this, you're going to be able to do everything. So remember that. Anyways, I'm out, man. I'm done talking. If you like this build, you'll let me know in the comments.